How's everybody doing? Welcome to 2018, my first video of the year. So happy New Year to all of you guys who listened and followed, who've been around for the last year. I thank you all who watch every day and learn. For those of you who truly strive to be better, who strive to become smarter men. I talk about self-improvement, but all I did in the last year was teach you guys to become smarter men regarding relationships. This year, we're really going to get deeper into other aspects of a man and manhood itself. But in a new year, we need to also bring new life. And on the topic of life, I'm going to talk about a very specific area of life. Children, offsprings. A righteous man and a righteous black man deserves to have offsprings. Too many wicked men have kids. Too many wicked genetics are populating the earth. This may sound radical. This may sound mean. But evil gene pools should not be spreading. We understand that women oftentimes pick and choose men who are wicked in order to bring forth their offsprings. But I'm going to tell the good men who are preventing themselves from associating with bad women, who are not bringing forth offsprings, to step back and think about it. Now, I am not saying mess with these wicked women. I know better than that. I teach better than that. But I'm saying, unlike anyone before that you've probably seen on YouTube, except certain brothers who have actually walked the walk, for them, there is an exception. But myself, I am one who traveled. It is seriously time that we look at our passports. If we don't have one, it is time that we start getting one. And I know some would say the minute they hit this country, these women become wicked. I have a recipe for that. I have a solution for that. I've been cooking this up for years. I have put it into practice. I have advised others to do so, and it has worked. Now I'm going to share with you, brothers. This year, I'm going to touch global. I'm going to talk about economy, domestic and global. I'm going to talk about politics, domestic and global. I'm going to talk retirement, domestic and global. I'm going to talk faith, domestic and global. I'm going to talk spirituality and metaphysics. I'm going to talk about you and your offsprings. For those of you who have kids, maybe you don't care to have more. For those of you who don't, you're worried about child support. Yeah, I understand. I would be too. There's no misunderstanding there. I think it's pretty clear. For those of you who are worried about this legal system, this matriarchal system, I'm with you there, and I understand that too. So don't think I'm telling you to dive into hot water. Don't think I'm telling you to dive into self-destruction, to implode. No, I would never do that. After all, I spent an entire year teaching about how to avoid these kind of women, these personality traits, how to peep them out, how to see them. There are brothers on YouTube who teach you how to get laid. Now, I could do that. I know the game and I know it well. I could probably sell books and grow my channel overnight simply by telling you how to get booty. But that's not enough, because I know I've done it and many of you have done it. Booty is not the result. But booty is not going to fix what we see in the black community. Smashing and dashing has been going on for ages. Look where it gotten us. It hasn't solved a darn thing. I'm not trying to change the women. That's why I don't speak to them. I speak to the brothers. And I'm going to tell you guys why in a few upcoming videos that I will drop soon. I'm going to be getting directly to the point. So for today's point, I believe good men need to drop their genetics on this planet. The future of our people need good people, not a bunch of wicked people. Some of our ancestors used to say that sometimes it's in your blood, that some people behave certain ways because it is in their blood. I used to think it was foolish. Then modern scientists Unfortunately, they were the ones to convince me. When they say that certain kids have the traits of their parents, even though they were not raised with them, they're predisposed to behave a certain way because of their genetics. Now, while I don't believe genetics is the entire reason for human behavior, I believe it is a heavy part. I believe that's why the Most High is to completely eliminate certain people off the face of the planet so that they may not populate. Bloodline is important. It's so important that the black race at one point used to be sterilized and sometimes still do. They get sterilized against their will, without their knowledge. Mgtow. Why? Why do they sterilize them? Because they do not want their bloodline to populate the earth. Why did the Arabs castrate them? Because they do not want their seed to populate the earth. It's more than that. Why did the white slave masters castrate them? Now, this is not a knock on Arabs or white people. This is just to shed light on bloodlines. If you are a person of another race that do listen to my channel, understand the same goes for you as I teach to men in general. But first, my brothers, my black men, we must talk. Good men, in general, you need your seeds on this planet. In order for us to continue our mission, we must have offsprings that we teach. Because I may teach you, brothers, but once we all become old men and we die away, what is left behind? In order for us to keep this movement going, we must have our children. Republicans make more Republicans, Democrats create Democrats. Rarely do their children stray away from the teachings of the parents. You bring up a child in the way in which they shall go. A Christian bring up Christian kids, Baptists, Nazarenes, Israelites, Nation of Islam. Muslims bring up Muslims. Humans begot humans. Am I wrong? Evil begot evil. A lot of these evil, wicked men and wicked women we see out here are the product of wicked fathers and wicked mothers. Most of them. Isn't it time that righteous people give birth to righteous children? See, I am willing to make sure, as long as I am fertile. Now, I'm not going to say whether or not I have children at this moment because I am a public figure. That's why I have been so cautious in the past. I am a public figure. But I'm not going to say whether or not I have kids at the moment, but I will make certain that my offsprings run the earth. I need my bloodline and my descendants to carry on my teachings, to improve upon them and keep them going. Why? Because righteous men deserve to have their bloodlines on this planet. They talk about royal bloodlines, bloodlines who do not get sick with certain illnesses, bloodlines that survive through anything, bloodlines that are made for war, bloodlines that have created wealth over and over again, and no matter what time you drop them in, they always seem to come up with the same results, even if they have been detached from the original people and their original lineage in history. They still find their way back to it. Because bloodlines, DNA carries an information. You who are listening, you are a special kind of black man. And if you're not black, you are a special kind of brother in general. That's why you need your bloodline on this planet. You need to believe you deserve to be on this planet. You need to believe that your bloodline deserves to run this earth. And if you do have kids, you need to make sure you can raise them and bring them up in your ways. So don't let no woman tell you cannot see your kids and just give up. You fight and you fight till there's no breath that's left. You understand? You go out of your way to make sure it happens. You take it to court. You take it to every court you have to. You get lawyers. You do everything that must be done. Everything. And for those of you, which is most of you, that haven't started yet because you're in your 20s, your 30s, and your 40s, you are young men. Heck, give yourself a 20-year gap to at least raise that kid. If you're 60, by the time you're 80, you have a 20-year-old. Good men deserve to have their bloodlines running this planet. It is a necessity. It is necessary. And as I go on in 2018, I'm going to tell you why and why every day, as I touch on different topics and different aspects and different categories, so we may become better men. Now, when you look at most basketball players, NBA stars, You see their sons on the court with them, on their daughters on the court with them. Most wolves of Wall Street, most men who are the kings in Wall Street making all the monies, they're bringing their kids to work day. A Mexican that comes over to America who doesn't have much, teach their kids the craft of running a business that cuts grass. Now, you may make fun of Poppy, but Poppy's going to be pulling in 6 figures a year, cutting grass, getting a major deal with the city. Meanwhile, you're still working your 9 to 5 and you're only making $50,000 a year. Now, I'm not saying your amount of money mean that you're nothing, but I'm saying because you were blinded to teaching your offspring and passing your knowledge down to them, you have failed to elevate them, to put them ahead in the future. Because your arrogance laughed at a certain craft. Now, since you wear a tie at your job, you're making $50,000. He wears a jumpsuit, he's making $100,000, $150,000. Cutting grass. Your offspring need to carry on your legacy and make it better. My father used to always say, and he still says it, if the son does not surpass the father, there is no progress. But you need that son, you need that daughter. And that's why I say, if we must leave these countries, because I have done it, I have went abroad, I have communicated with people, and I have land outside the United States of America. So if you're in Canada, the US, France, wherever you are, you need to make sure you travel. Find a native, if you have to, that works at your job, that's going home, and travel with them. It's not always comfortable. Stop making fun of people because they come from a third world country. Every place has its jewels. Every place. I told you guys I'm going to get real serious in 2018. I'm not going to censor so much. I'm going in. So we got to start talking about our offsprings. We're going to talk about how to raise them, but a lot of us who are preventing ourselves from getting them, that I hear you guys on your videos saying you're not even going to attempt to, and you guys are some of the most righteous brothers I've heard from. I've heard speaking words of wisdom. Men like you deserve children. You deserve your own tribe. That is a tribe. And from a tribe comes a nation. You deserve your own tribe. You deserve your own nation. And we're going to find decent women to have it with. Now, if you don't want to bring that woman over, don't do so. Have that child and then bring that child over. Tell her you're working on it if you have to. Now, I'm not saying mistreat her if she's a good woman. You may still want to watch her. You may still want to speculate on her attitude before you bring her over. And in a few videos, I'm going to tell you guys how to do that and do it safely, even in this matriarchal system. But I want you guys to know, do not sell yourself short, because your genetics deserve to run this planet. Our children deserve to be with each other and have children with each other, to create a unique bloodline of people who want to live like honest, decent human beings instead of being ratchet, ghetto, and destructive. We can't only let the good die young and with our offsprings, meanwhile the wicked live long and reproduce the earth. Meanwhile, some of us are spiritual and we are waiting for the Most High. That is fine, but nowhere did he say castrate yourself. No. He wants you to be fruitful and multiply. And he tells you what kind of people not to do it with. So we're going to follow some of that. Now, I'm not going to make this video much longer. I have a few more coming up soon. Just wanted to say Happy New Year. And keep in mind, you deserve to repopulate this planet. We're just not going to do it with these dirty, ratchet, arrogant, loudmouth women who send men to prison even though they did nothing wrong, who put men on child support and take all of our resources. We're not stupid. I know some guys are saying don't complain about women nature. Look here, I don't complain about women nature. I never did on my channel. I just teach brothers how their nature works and how to avoid certain things. Because smashing can't be your only objective, especially if you're over 30. By 25, you should know that. Because you just get tired of sleeping with women. No homo. At some point, You need your offspring, your photocopy. Good men reproducing and replicating themselves on this planet. This is Mr. Lemba. We about to get real serious. Next video coming up soon. I'm out.